Well, in some other news here, cybersecurity firm Proofpoint unveiled its latest Agentic AI offerings at its Proofpoint Protect event in Nashville, Tennessee, earlier this year. I was on the ground in Nashville and spoke with MC, Proofpoint's EVP and GM of data security, about his vision and roadmap for the industry. Let's take a look.
It's a great question, Kristen. If you look at data security, it is a very fragmented space. You have so many vendors that have popped up over the last 20 years. You have a vendor for data privacy, data governance, data compliance, data protection, and Proofpoint has been on the mission to unify this sort of fragmented space. We did that for data protection. Now we are on our journey to do it for entire data security as we look at the entire landscape.
How does AI factor into that?
You know, it's happening everywhere. I mean, you hear about it. It's happening in every organization today. Customers are moving from what was a digital workspace with humans as the primary actor to now having two more actors in this ecosystem. You have autonomous agents and you have Gen AI apps. The interconnectedness of this defines the agentic workspace. So the challenges we've had to protect the world in the digital workspace is now going to happen in the agentic workspace. So customers, vendors need to start looking at how do you make sure agents and Gen AI are looking at those controls that were there in the past for this new ecosystem now. So it's a big change, fundamental shift as we look at data security.
And from your perspective, MC, how do you protect against insider risk, and what is that risk?
You know, insider risk as a term didn't exist before Edward Snowden. If you recall, this was like 2 decades ago almost at this point. But since then, it has been on the rise, and you see insider as one of the top 5 security concerns for CISOs today. So insider means looking at users, what they do, understanding their behaviors, and then figuring out at what point in their journey they become a risk to your company and have the controls in place. And Proofpoint brings those solutions to the market to detect and mitigate insider risk today.
I want to talk more about the solutions and your recommendation for managing AI tools, including for those employees who are using them internally.
Yeah, no, it's a great question. If you look at the Gen AI tools or AI ecosystem overall with agents, there are 3 basic questions that everybody's trying to answer. Where are my employees going to? Is it sanctioned, unsanctioned? Which Gen AI app are they using? Second is to make sure those prompts are secure so that you don't leak any information that is not needed to be leaked to unauthorized users. And third is governance of that data. Because prompts are serving so much information, Gen AI ecosystem is ingesting so much information, agents are completely autonomous at this point in time. So you need the controls from a data access governance perspective as well. That's why we announced 2 new offerings at Protect this year to focus on this agentic ecosystem as the world moves from digital to the new ecosystem.
How can AI support what your team is doing?
You know, it's a huge force multiplier at this point in time. So we are using AI to bring that value, that operational efficiency that customers need beyond just securing the AI ecosystem to begin with. A good example is the time it takes to look at the world of data security alerts. It's a very time-consuming task. So automation, SOC workflow that is important for our customers, AI brings that to the ecosystem now in a big way.
Okay. I do have a fun question that I want to ask you, MC. If AI
Sure.
could plan your next vacation, where would it send you?
That's a tricky question. My wife and I have talked about going to Ireland to see Northern Lights at some point in time.
Beautiful.
So that will be one of those bucket list items.